Yo, what up? This is Crisis. Now tuned into the GAHHD. Yeah, SMG, baby.
Welcome world. Hey. Episode 51 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. Let this be.
BX, KRS.
BX legend. Hip hop legend.
Episode 51 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. I am Brother Burnz. We got a special guest in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Producer extraordinaire, super MC, Bronx representative, Mr. Murder at the Waldorf. Crisis himself is in the building.
What up?
Brother Crisis, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
As always, I am Brother Burnz. To the left of me, I got Brother VS.
BX to the OP. You know what it is, baby. Thank you again, Brother Crisis, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Always welcomed. Thank you.
On the check-in, we got International Blood.
Look, where you at?
Yo, what's cracking, my niggas?
Where you reporting from?
Live from the BX in honor of my nigga Crisis.
Yeah.
Coming through. We appreciate you. A legend.
Thank you.
And it's an honor to have you on the show, my brother.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Shout out to the BX and shout out to KRS-One for providing that intro.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to the brother One Got Beats that's also here with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brother One Got Beats. Shout out to the Brother
Word up.
Fidel over here snapping the
away.
pic. Shout out to the Brother
Creating.
Efren. Straight Fuego Studios. Who else? Shout out to the sponsors. Crazy Horse.
Hey.
Dutch Master.
Whoa.
And the best spot on earth. Cheap Time.
Cheap time. Shout out my nigga Miklo.
Make sure you're following the brother Crisis on all the socials. That's at I am Crisis, CRISIS _ at I am Crisis _ Make sure you're following him.
Yeah.
Make sure you're following the brother Efren at Efren R711 at Efren R711. That's brother F, Straight Fuego Studios.
That's in the business.
If you need some studio time, if you're trying to record a podcast, record a song, whatever it is.
Shout out to Fuego.
Shout out to, as I said, the brother Fidel at I Create It, at I _ create _ it with like 3 T's. At the brother One Got Beats is in the building. Shout out to him. We're gonna have to get him a mic eventually. Shout out to the brother Deadass at Deadass _ worldwide. Deadass. And make sure you're following at GAHHD _ podcast.
Right.
Go.
Now, brother Crisis, again, thank you for being here, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
You are from the BX, born and raised.
Yes, sir.
Tell me some of your favorite BX rappers.
I mean, you just play one, KRS.
The legend.
Knowledge Ray Supreme.
Big Pun, rest in peace.
Oh, damn. You going for the gusto.
Yeah, I mean, top 5, dead or alive.
Got that right.
I mean, there's so many homies from the DITC.
Oh, yes.
Diamond D, Finesse, even though they producers, but they rappers too.
Yeah.
They're nice rappers.
Yeah.
Finesse.
That actually brings us to something that we were talking about before you got here. You yourself are a producer and you're a rapper.
Yes, sir.
But what are you first?
Yeah.
Well, I was an MC first, and then I got into the production. I mean, I was always into production from the first time I just started creating music, but I chose MCing. Right. But I was around beat makers from the beginning. I had a couple friends that had beat machines in my hood, so like I was always around somebody that had was making beats, a beat machine. So I was always into that. Like I was always into like equipment. I was always that kid that I'll hook your stereo system up. Like I was just always into I was always into music. So you know what I'm saying? So I picked the MCing, and I would say I'm an MC first, but I really love producing. Like I just got a love for it. So more and more lately I've been into the production.
Right. When you started,
which one?
Go ahead, Blood.
I was gonna ask which one you think you're better at. You know, because I could tell you love being an MC, you know, and as well as being a producer. But which one do you think that you're better at?
That you're more skilled at.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I guess because I love the MCing, I would say the MCing, but I kind of leave that up to the people, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah,
lot of people
good
be
answer.
I can see
surprised when
that.
they hear it. So, you know, they get surprised when they hear me rapping. And then they get even more surprised when they hear that I made the beat that I'm rapping to. So they like, oh shit, like.
Which do you think comes easier to you?
Right.
Maybe the beats, I would say, because I kind of like the beats. There's no thinking to it, you know what I'm saying. So I definitely got to say the beats is much easier because there's really no thinking. I just go in with a blank canvas, turn on the beat machine, and just start making the beat. I'm not really thinking. We're writing. I'm sitting there analyzing the beat after. I'm thinking of concepts. I'm thinking of hooks. And that first line is always that one, like you got to try to get them in with that first line. So you know that's a little more thinking sometimes. So I would definitely say the beats is much easier.
So you make the beat first, and then like, because as a rapper producer, and I always wanted to ask rapper producers this like, what comes first, the beat or the rhymes? Do you ever have some rhymes in your head and you're like, yo, I need to make a beat for this?
Nah, the beats. I mean, everybody's different, but as far as me, the beats bring out my raps. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you know immediately when you're making a beat, like, yo, I'm gonna keep this one?
actually, no. That's kind of weird about it, I guess you would say, because I completely separate myself from rapping and being an MC when I'm making a beat. Like, I'm not thinking about I'm making a beat for me.
For this, yeah.
Or for that or this.
Right,
like
right.
nothing is really like really planned, I would say. Like it's just I'm in a beat making mood, so I'm gonna go in and just make beats, and then after the fact I might be like, oh, like, you know, I'm gonna
can
use
switch to
this,
this, yeah.
or you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's
yeah.
just I'm not really thinking like, you know, I'm making this beat for me. Like, I'm not even thinking. I might be thinking of a whole different artist while I'm making the beat. Yo, I'm thinking of the homie
how
Cortez or somebody.
I've
you know
seen
what I'm
that
saying?
because you label your beats that you have on, I forgot what site that is, and you put this type of beat, like Jada type beat.
Yeah, well, I kind of did that because, like, it's kind of like a fad that a lot of producers do now.
I seen that.
To, you know, get people to check your pages out. Like, I got my BeatStar page, so it
That's
kind
what
of
it was,
brings
BeatStar.
traffic. Yeah, it brings traffic to your, you know, because, you know, that's what people do searches on. It's not necessarily I made the beat like the producer who made the beat for Jada or something like that. It's just, this is a beat that I will hear Jada Kiss rhyming to.
right.
So
Exactly.
it's
Right,
like,
right.
that's, because a lot of people be like, oh, type beats is kind of whack. Like, they not realizing that a lot of producers are putting type beat in the title because that's who they hear in the song. That's not, they not making an actual
But also
beat
it's
that
good
mimic.
for your marketing.
Well, yeah, that like I said, because it brings the traffic,
Yeah.
basically. It brings the traffic to your
Let,
page.
let me ask you a
So,
question. How often do you surprise yourself when you make a beat? Like, cause I've been following your page for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. Like, before we even, I think, fuck with the brother one, like for a minute, and your beats are crazy as fuck, yo.
No, I appreciate
So how
it.
often do you surprise yourself when you make the next one? You know?
I don't know. It's like, I guess because I'm so into the beat, it's not even catching me. It's like after I know I'm finished, because you at one point you got to say, all right, enough is enough. Like, you got to tell yourself that, because you just keep going crazy trying
Like
to do
tinkering with the beat.
Yeah,
And you'll
then
fuck it up at one point.
Yeah, and you kind of get like the syndrome that I hate. Like, you just, so it's like once I know I'm finished with the beat, then I just sit back and I might spark a blunt and listen to it, and then I'm like, ooh, this shit is crazy. Like, and then it'll catch me. It's like, it's
After you
surprising.
make it,
Yeah,
Word
it's
up.
weird. So,
Word
you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I love the music so much, because it just, it surprises me every time. Every time I make something, I might sit back after the fact and be like, damn, I just made that? Like, so
That's
it's,
fire.
yeah, word
I'm
up.
sure the brother one feels that same way because one got a crazy arsenal behind him as well, you know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
shit. Me and him cook
Yeah,
crazy
man.
too. When me and him in the studio, we 3, 4, 5 in the morning, we going at it.
We
making
gonna get
beats.
to that. We gonna get to that.
Yeah, word.
We
Yo,
gonna get to
that man sitting across from you right now with the blue sweater was an ill Pete Smith as well back in the day, yo.
Yeah,
That nigga used to surprise me with always one-upping himself with the beats and shit.
Nah, that's
man.
dope. That's
My
dope.
nigga VS. Word
That's
up.
dope.
That's that history.
Yeah, man.
When you started making beats, was it out of necessity? Like,
Yes.
because I've heard a few producers say like, "Yo, I want," or a few rappers say, "I had to make beats because I ain't have nobody to make me no beats, and I need beats."
Pretty much, cause like I said, I've tinkered with beat machines before, made a couple beats. I go to my boy's house, we be chilling. He got the beat machine, be like, "Yo, turn it on, let me mess with it." But as far as like, once I really started getting into like artistry and rapping, and I realized I'm gonna have to start making myself beats, because like we started off actually making our own beats, but we quickly realized obviously our beats wasn't up to par with a lot of the instrumentals we were coming across yet. So it was like, all right, we just gonna body these instrumentals as we start building our sound and start getting nicer with the beats. And once we feel like, all right, that beat could basically match that beat that we got off of, say, a J Arms instrumental CD or something. All right, now we can start rapping to ourselves, like our own joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's throwback J Arms. You got
Yeah, shout out to the homie J Arms too. He used to bring me his instrumental CDs direct to my DVD store. So shout out to them.
Damn.
Wow.
All MCs know about the J Arm instrumental.
Bro, I got all them joints.
Do you remember your first piece of equipment?
My first piece of equipment that I owned, like personally, was an MPC 2000.
Nice.
Damn.
Brother F back there celebrating as he stares at his.
Yeah, we had two of them, but one was for the like studio when we first started, and then we came across an extra one, so I ended up copping it for me, like to have in my house. So that was like my first personal machine that
Do
I
you
had.
still use the MP?
Yeah, actually, right now I currently use the MPCX right now to make my beats.
Nice.
Shout out to Akai too, cause I'm a beta tester for the MPCX. So.
Really?
Oh,
Wow, congrats.
that is awesome.
Shout out to Akai.
Word, congratulations.
I mean,
man.
I've been actually since the Renaissance, so probably a few years now.
Wow,
Wow,
that's super dope.
that is awesome.
Get the man some change, yo. Word up.
For real.
So now, when you started, all right, so you started rapping first, right? Then you started making the beats.
Yes, sir.
When did you realize, like, all right, now I'm ready to make a project?
I mean, when I like really started getting into it, I kind of started with a group. There was a lot of MCs. It's like we was kind of fighting for attention kind of amongst each other. So it was like me and my boys started our own thing, which is where I got my studio at now. And as soon as we started, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. We got to come out with a project. Like, I mean, rapping is cool, but we got to show that we could do something. So we were putting songs together, but we weren't putting a project together. And just one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take some of these songs, try to make the best project out of the best songs. And I put our first mixtape out, which was Trilateral mixtape, and been trying to put projects out since. Or not.
Nice, definitely. The first project I saw was from 2018, the Destroy and Rebuild project.
Yes, that's actually when I started my solo thing, because I started off with a team. It didn't work out, you know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of went their separate ways. So like I said, I love this music so much, I started doing my own thing, and that was my first solo project, because I put 2 mixtapes out before. That's kind of when I met my second mixtape, which was actually the first time I produced for myself, was my second mixtape. But that's no longer online because something happened on Dat Piff, and like you can actually go on Dat Piff and the link is there, but when you click on it to play,
it don't play,
it doesn't
right?
play.
Like something weird.
Something
Y'all
weird
have
happened.
the same problem.
Yeah, so
Boo
technically,
that Piff, yo.
Yeah,
Give them a
word.
boo
Hey,
sound.
yo, fuck
So,
that.
Do that, man.
yeah, word.
Yo,
So
and you was producing for other people at that time as well? Like when you first started doing your first album?
Nah, actually, I was just, like I said, the first album I did, when I did the Destroy and Rebuild, I wasn't producing for anybody yet. And
Oh, word?
I realized that's when I really, like, I knew I had to make beats for myself, and I was making beats for a long time. And one knows the story. I lost a hard drive with everything and had to start from scratch. The whole like RZA with the whole flood thing.
Flood,
Same thing happened to me, bro. I'm sure that happened to plenty of people
too. We treat
that
like a biblical event.
The
Great Flood of Staten Island.
Well, that's a testament to why I love this music so much, because after that happened, I had to like literally sit down and tell myself, do you really want to keep doing this?
Right.
After losing everything, because you got to start from scratch. So, you know, I figured, you know, I love this so much, I'm going to just start rebuilding. And that's where that name of that project came from, Destroy and Rebuild. Because of that, I had to literally destroy and rebuild.
Before you ask your question, did you do most of the production on that album?
I did the majority of the beats except for 2. Shout out to my guy Hellfire Beats. Was the first time I ever worked with Hellfire Beats, and my guy XXX Beats. Hellfire did. It's been a while since I looked at the album.
We listened to them.
Yeah, hold up. I gotta look at it myself. Shout out to the homie Hellfire too.
There's a
yo,
track
it's a
on
real
there.
New York sounding album.
For real.
Yeah, that's
front to end.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
it,
that's the album that really set it off for me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, basically it was like, yo, dude, you gotta go all out. So yeah, he did he did Dollar and a Dream. Shout out to Hellfire. And my boy XXX Beats did Say Hello to the Bad Guy.
Oh, I like that track.
Nah, my favorite track from that is Let It Go.
Oh, I appreciate
that beat right there.
Yeah, I
and
did that.
This is gonna be part of my question. Like, my question is, you said you had to rebuild, right? Mm-hmm. So did you, as a producer, because I know I did for the most part, as a producer, do you remember all the samples? Like, do you have like a mental bank and be like, okay, this is this sample? Like, I just go back right and find it right away.
As far as for that album, no.
As far as for your beats in general, like,
nah, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I got a folder. Like, I guess because of the way I'm really organized as far as like the way I structure my folders, my beats, my sounds and all that. Got everything named, organized, super. So I got a particular folder for every sample that I use, because I know I'm not gonna remember all the samples. So like, I'll name, like, I'll keep the name of the sample, and then I'll put the name of the beat that I use the sample next to it. Like, I'll name it. This way, if I ever have to reference, like, what was the sample that I used, I'll be able to go back. But off the top of the head, I just use so many. Because one knows, like, I look for the most rarest. A lot of the stuff I can't even pronounce. I'm going to keep it 100 with you.
The sample that you use for Let It Go is fucking crazy.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff be, like, weird stuff from overseas, from, like, the 50s and 60s.
Artist that you got.
So it's weird. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff I can't even pronounce. So
I recognize the sample.
I'll just write it down.
I recognize that sample. So I was like, wait a minute, I know this sample. And I looked it up, and it's a French artist.
Yeah, so like a lot, I try to look for, because
national gems are real.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff, like, you figure a lot of people, you know, use the hell out of a lot of American soul music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, a lot of that stuff. Yeah, so it's like I kind of try to go outside the box and look for the most weirdest stuff, like, you know, and even Spanish stuff too. I know a lot of people who sampled a lot of old school Spanish stuff. So when I was a kid, my pops, rest in peace, I used to sit down and listen to a lot of bolero music with him. He used to have crazy collections of records, and I remember a lot of those guitar samples and stuff. Like, it was just, it used to make the hair stand on the back of my neck. So it's like, I remembered a lot of that stuff. So when I started making beats, the first thing I thought of, I'm gonna try to go back to that, like, when my pops was young, and look for stuff like that, like from overseas. And
that music had a lot of like drama,
a lot of
a lot of instruments in and out. Damn, what the fuck I was gonna ask you? Oh, on that project, Destroy and Rebuild, and we can make this off the record, and you can edit this out if we're not supposed to say this. I think it's song 1 or 2. It's a piano
Everybody
sample.
got guns.
It sounds to me, and I could be wrong, like a Slaughterhouse song.
That's the song I'm talking about.
That's the same sample?
On Destroy and Rebuild?
Alchemist.
Oh, I thought you was talking about something else.
What, a Crunch Time?
Nah, it's Let It Go.
Oh, and Let It Go on the song. Actually,
It's by the sample is by
yeah, like you said, yeah,
Michael Colombier.
And it's the same
Yeah.
sample they both used?
yeah. It's,
Alchemist and him both used it.
yeah, and shout out to
They
shout,
flipped it a little differently though.
Yeah, they flipped it different.
shout out to
Yeah.
I didn't even know he used that too.
Yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
did. He did.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
Alchemy. He's one of my favorite
That's
producers.
how I recognized the sample. I was like, wait a minute, I heard.
Oh, that's
this before.
crazy. I didn't even know he
See,
used
yeah,
that.
same
Now,
shit. I
now,
just didn't do the research.
now I gotta have
Yeah.
to. Now I'm gonna have to look for that when I see, cause that's crazy that I never caught that. Cause
Yeah.
he's like one of my favorite producers.
Oh yeah, he's fire.
Yeah,
He's
word.
super fire.
No, both
Word
are.
up.
Both are though. Both versions.
Oh yeah,
Because when I
both
heard it,
are.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
ah,
yeah.
yes.
That's
yeah,
what caught me. I was
I
like,
really
wait a-
like piano stuff like that too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like grimy, wicked piano stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
I get that from you. As a matter of fact, I was gonna say VS. It's funny that you say Alchemist because I think Crisis style is a little bit like Havoc, and then he even when he goes in with the rhyming, like you don't even know like he's gonna come so hard, you know?
Right.
Same
Yeah.
thing with Havoc. I always thought the same thing, like.
which is
I don't know,
a good
lot
thing.
of-
I appreciate you saying that because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
how I
yeah,
want
yeah, yeah.
how I want people to react too. Like, you know what I'm saying, when they, because a lot of people, I'm gonna keep it 100. Ricans, I'm half Rican, half Dominican from the Bronx, so and I'm light skinned, so a lot of people see me and they automatically think
There's a
like,
bias.
yo, you
Yeah.
can't rap
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like once they hear
No
me
doubt,
rapping,
yeah,
they be
yeah.
like, oh shit, and then once they
And you have a good voice.
the beats too, I appreciate that too.
Yeah. I
Appreciate
noticed that on the albums, like hit the voice, it's
It projects well.
yeah, it sounds really fucking dope.
I appreciate that.
I think
appreciate
the
that.
rhymes are unapologetic.
Oh yeah,
Rhymes,
definitely,
and it's,
definitely.
It's very like the content, very New York. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like BX, like there's shit on the BX that you don't get from other artists that's as underground. You know, only few. A lot of more like material based. You know.
Yeah.
But when this
Yeah,
nigga
like,
goes underground, forget it.
Yeah, I'm uncut because like I mean I'm a fan of the G units and the state properties and the, you know what I'm saying, like I'm a fan of that. The Big L recipes pun, like pun ain't have no hair on his tongue. He say what the fuck he gonna say and
So did
that's
Big L.
it. So
Mhm.
yeah,
So did
you know what
Big
I'm
L,
saying,
yeah.
like and
Yeah,
they
of
just
course,
said what
see.
they said and your feelings got hurt. So be it. Like
Too
you know what I'm
bad.
saying, word. So
Word up, word up.
I think it was on the Destroy and Rebuild project, and I could be wrong. It might have been on the Perilous because I was listening to those two the most. There's a rhyme. In order to survive, you got to be an expert in criminology. Do you remember that rhyme? Or that bar?
yeah, I know that bar. I'm just trying to think of the song because, like I said, so many bars.
I thought that bar for some reason, like,
That's
like,
definitely
oh, yeah,
from
I like
from
CT.
Destroy and Rebuild. That's definitely
it is, right? Yeah,
that's
I thought
from
it was.
Destroy and Rebuild.
I liked the sentiment of the bar.
Yeah, nah, like I just try to project like what I went through growing up, where I'm from. You know what I'm saying, the Bronx. Like I'm from Soundview. Anybody know where Soundview? Like that's when it's a war zone basically. So,
Yeah,
I
word up.
and not only from there, I grew like my pops was from the Grand Concourse area too. So if I wasn't in Soundview, I was in that area. So it was a lot of crazy shit I saw growing up as a kid.
And you said you traveled back to both motherlands, right?
What to
To DR and to PR?
yes.
That's dope. That's dope.
Mostly
What up?
DR, because Pop Dukes is from Dominican Republic, Mom's is from Puerto Rico, so Pop Dukes was more of a traveling man, you know what I'm saying? So he always took me to DR with him every time he went up there. So.
Dope.
But you got to see, like,
Both cultures, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
both-
Nah, I
both
definitely
hoods.
got the
Both
best of both
hoods.
worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
definitely
mean?
got the best of both worlds. But I'm gonna
R.I.P.
keep.
to Pop Dukes, my brother. You
Yeah,
heard?
nah, I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Word, man. Rest in peace, pops. But yeah, I'm a Bronxite first and foremost. Born and raised in the Bronx, born in Soundview. Like, I mean, that's just how I always been. When I went out there, I turned into the Bronx for a while I was out there. So you know what I'm saying, like,
And it,
Gucci
it
Frito
reflects in the
spot.
music.
yeah, definitely,
Now, your
Oh,
next
shit.
project was
That's what's
King
up.
Reborn.
yes,
Did you handle most of the production on that one?
yeah, that was completely produced by me.
And what was the mood going into that project? What was the thought process going into that one?
That was just like I just dropped Destroy and Rebuild. So now, like, I'm a king reborn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just went through hell and back, basically. I just went through the group thing. It didn't work out. I tried my solo thing, lost everything in the process of starting that. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
it's funny that we never let that go. You know what
like,
I mean?
nah,
Like,
that's-
that shit still hurts you right
Bro.
now. I can see
Bro,
it.
that's a scar on my heart
course,
for like
Brain
forever,
had,
man. Like I lost a lot of time. Like, you know, that's what it is. It's like it's not even the actual music, it's just the time you put in. So it's like that's
the ideas that
yeah,
you
that's
that you
that's
forget.
what hurts you, because it's like, yo, bro, I put a lot of time into that stuff. So it's like to lose everything. I mean, I just lost all my masters as far as the songs I created, some beats, but for the most part, thankfully, I had a lot of my sounds and a lot of my beats backed up in the crib. So when I went to, you know, once I brushed my shoulders off, got myself up, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, all right, at least I got this to start off with.
Yeah.
So I kind of built from that. You know what
Brother
I'm saying?
One, have you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah, actually, right before I met Crisis, that was one of the traumas that we shared together as producers.
Damn.
It was like,
Yeah, man.
I had like when
Shout
I
out
met
to
him,
producers that done happen to, man.
I had a external that I had just backed everything up on. And then that's when I got familiar with the term, if it doesn't exist in 3 places, then it don't exist.
That's my motto now.
That's
If it's
a
not
jewel
backed
for
up 3
all y'all
times,
producers out
Yep.
there, all y'all
Yeah.
engineers, even for the rappers, anybody making songs.
Yeah,
Say it again.
basically.
If it's not backed up,
Backed up
No.
in 3 places, it don't exist.
3 places.
If it doesn't exist in 3 places, it doesn't exist.
Brother
Yo, I'm
Blood,
sorry
didn't
to
you
hear that, man.
didn't you lose an album when our computer crashed?
Yeah, I lost a whole album. I had like I want
not-
to say
it's
10
not
to
a good
13
feeling, man.
tracks. Yeah, I never made it back from
He
that.
never-
Yo, to tell you the truth.
yo,
I
bro,
never
that's
made it
not a
back.
good feeling, man. I'm
know
telling
what
you,
I'm
it's,
saying?
it's a really
It's just
bad
like you
scene. I
said.
feel like you lost a family member,
Yeah.
man.
And it still hurts.
Yo,
Yeah, man.
it's like the album cover, yo. You're destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And then for him to rebuild, that's not an easy thing. It's not as easy as just saying destroy and rebuild.
Yeah,
like,
nah,
you
because like I
destroyed,
said,
my
it's
nigga,
like it's because
it's a wrap.
I'm producing for myself. I'm engineering. All my stuff is engineered by myself too, for the exception of Perilous. That was shout out to Hellfire. I was able to sit back and be an artist for
Be a
that
rapper,
album.
right.
But
That's
most of my stuff is produced by me, engineered by me. I record myself. I mix myself. So it's like you sit back and it's like you got to do all of that over again. It's not like I just got to write a bunch of raps again,
Nah,
or
yeah,
I just
yeah.
got to make a bunch of beats again.
Yeah.
It's like I got to do everything over again. So it's like it crushed me. Like I can't front. But like I said, I'm built for this, and it made me better. It made me a better artist. It made me a better producer. It made me hungrier.
Yo, my nigga.
You know
4
what I'm
albums
saying?
later. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all you
nah,
gotta
real
say.
talk.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, nah, definitely. So,
Fuck
like, I
that.
try to name my albums kind of like in that theme. So, like, Destroy and Rebuild, obviously, I had to Destroy and Rebuild. And then King Reborn was like, you know, now I'm reborn out the ashes from that. You know what I'm saying? Now I got a purpose. I mean, I had a purpose, but it was like now I really got a purpose now. Now I gotta make up for what I lost and go harder. So it's like
exactly.
that's where that name came from for that album.
And producing that album entirely, were most of those beats made for that album, or did you have some beats already that were saved?
Like I said, I'm weird like that. So it's like it was kind of a mix. It's like all my projects are like that because I make so many beats. So it's like as I'm making beats, like I might say after I made that beat, or I think I'm gonna use that, and then I might have some other beats that I made already, like during the past or whatever, and I might go through beats. So that's kind of what I do. Once I get in project mode and I know I got a lot of beats, it's like I'll sit down now in artist mode and listen through the beats and be like, all right, I'm gonna use this beat, I'm gonna use this beat, or whatever. So
I
yeah,
noticed
so it's
a
kinda mixed.
theme with your albums though, like they're very uniform. So like it's funny that you say that Hellfire produced the last album, because I remember saying like, yo, it kind of switched like the sound, you know, but it's uniform throughout the album. But this one, King Reborn, to me sounds like more underground than the first one.
Yeah.
You know, the first one sounded very like New York, you know, BX New York. The second one started getting more underground, like more like, you
Yeah,
know,
'cause-
mixed messages, crazy stories and shit.
Yeah, because, I mean, all my projects, I got a story on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing, because like I said, I grew up in the era of I mean, I was the kid with a lot of tapes in his pocket when I was a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Walking around with a radio, Walkman, always had CDs, tapes. So it was like, all the good albums had a good story on the album. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see that a lot on projects. So like I felt like I had to, give people a story. But on the King Reborn, I don't know, just those beats brought those raps out. That's why I say, like, when you asked me that question before about what comes first, the raps or the beats, like those beats brought those raps out of me. Same thing like Destroy and Rebuild, like those beats brought out the raps, like. And it's just, I'm a concept driven artist too, you know what I'm saying? So like once the beat brings out that concept, the rap is pretty much easy to come out after, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with Blood that the albums all have that, like they're all tied in, and I like that you say you're a concept rapper and you're a rapper that still uses like the movie samples to kind of tie shit in.
Yeah.
Now, I always love that.
I'm always into the project as opposed to the songs. I want to hear the whole thing as a piece of art, as a whole project. So when you do that and like you just tie it all together, the whole story comes together. Big props on that.
Appreciate it.
Then we got to the third project. I think this one was 2019, which was Hungry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was produced by you again?
Yes, entirely produced by me.
Y'all got thoughts on Hungry?
Hungry is the album cover. It's scary as fuck, nigga. That shit is like a movie. It looks like a movie.
But it goes with the theme of, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you look at that picture, like the frame, I do all my artwork too for my albums.
I was gonna, I was gonna get into that. Yeah.
So the picture itself is of a Masonic, like one of those Bilderberg private secret society dinners.
Some Illuminati shit.
Some Illuminati shit. So like. Those are some of the most richest, powerful people in that picture. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like you see how they on some like kind of weird, crazy secret society. Like, so that picture really stood out to me when I saw it. And obviously they had a dinner. I'm hungry, and you know what I'm saying. So it was kind of perfect because the album is like it got that like eerie vibe to it too. So you know what I'm saying. So it was perfect. And then the frame, people don't realize. I looked up one of the expensive frame in the world on like as far as art, and that frame that's around that picture is basically the most expensive frame on the planet. Basically, a picture. So I kind of like
solid gold and shit. The frame around
it's just like some weird picture. I don't know if it's like in the Vatican or something like that, but it's just like a really old picture from like back in the days, European times, and it's just a crazy picture, but it's real eerie that picture. So it kind of goes with the vibe of that album, which is Hungry, and I'm kind of going.
It starts off very symphonic, like with the pianos and shit like that, like eerie, like you said.
I kind of like rapping the joints that sometimes don't have drums to them. I mean, I mix it up, you know what I'm saying? So like that album. It got a crazy vibe to it, so that's like one of my favorite projects.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites as well. And the cover, you know how I always talk about looking for new music and the cover being what kind of grabbed your attention first. That's one that it would have worked.
Yeah, which is what I wanted to do with that cover too.
Shock value.
Yeah, you got to
get the attention.
Yeah. Word up.
And then we get to Perilous, which came out this year.
Yes. Well, actually, came out right at the end of last year. Right at the end of last year.
I'll be forgetting where it's That's a problem.
21,
produced
baby.
Entirely by Hellfire.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, Hellfire.
Who did the scratch?
Hellfire. He did everything. He mixed, mastered, and produced the album. I just came up with the concepts and rap and record. I actually recorded all the songs myself though in my studio. Because he was sending me the beats from out here in Jersey to the BX, and I would just knock out the songs and send them back to him. And then once he had all the projects, because the project was actually going to be, because the first 3 projects is 5 songs, because I felt like being I'm kind of a new artist, or not kind of, I am a new artist. It's like I don't want to bombard people with a lot of songs on my projects.
You want to make it short and sweet.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to like show people that look, I could create a whole album of like a album that, you know, from beginning to end goes together. It's a concept album, but I'm not gonna bombard y'all. But when he sent me the beats, I was knocking them out like. But first pitch, knock that joint out the park, and then he would send me back like nothing but fire emojis, because I would send him a little clip of the song after I recorded, and he'll send me like mad fire emojis, like, yo, bro, this shit is crazy. So I'd be like, all right, cool. So after we got to the 5th song, he was like, yo, bro, like, we got to do more songs. Like, so he ended up sending me 2 more beats, which is why that album got 7. And it was like, you know what, I planned on starting to, you know, start adding more songs to the projects as I start putting more projects. So it was like, you know, that was perfect. Like Lucky 7, that's one of my favorite numbers. So yeah, I did 7 on that just to, you know, start giving people a little extra or whatever. But he did everything.
Okay.
He did mixes, mastering. Yeah, like he was actually, he actually fucked my head up with a lot of those scratches, because obviously the Beats didn't have a lot of that stuff when he sent them to me. So I would send him the songs, and once he sent me the like,
finished product, yeah.
Well, not necessarily the finish, but like close to finish, like he started mixing the joints and like, you know, just sending them to me just so I get my feedback or whatever. And I was just like, yo, bro, this shit sound crazy.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like I was just
Some premiere shit.
He definitely got
my
that
guy
with
Hell
the,
is crazy
with the scratches and the production.
Like, and me and him just have like great chemistry too. Like, I mean, there was no sending beats back. Nah, I don't like that beat. Like, everything he sent me ended up on the album. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was just no like nothing like word up.
And how happy were you to only have to play the role of MC?
Actually, it felt good because, like I said, I just finished redoing my studio. Right. Like, I literally like was building everything, putting everything together. So it was like, as soon as I finished, it was like, all right, now I got to start making beats. You know what I'm saying? I had beats, but I'm the type of person that I like kind of start from scratch too. Like, I felt like that was
energy.
Yeah, it was like new. It was like the room felt new to me. Like it felt like I was in a new place. So it was like I want to start creating from new. And he just happened to hit me up out the blue to do that project. Like, yo, bro, let's work on a project. So if it felt great just to be able to just rap and send him the beats back, because I'm so used to recording myself. I'm so used to producing for myself, mixing my joints after I do all that. So it felt beautiful. Like, it felt great. Which is what I'm trying to do with the homie one now.
And what's the story behind the title of this project?
By any means.
Well, Perilous. The
Oh, you're talking about Perilous?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about the shit.
Well, if you notice the cover of the album, it's a old picture from the 80s from the Bronx of, I mean, kids is just playing basketball while a building is literally burning down right in front of them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
A powerful image.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the Bronx was, I mean, it still is, but the Bronx, when I was growing up, was very perilous. Like it was crazy. So it's just, when I saw that picture, it just took me to that. And then coming up with those songs, it was so concept driven, that album, that it was perfect. It was just like, yo, man, that's the vibe of the songs. I mean, Murder at the Waldorf and Survival in the Streets and those type of songs, and just like, you know, that whole vibe to that album. So it was kind of like, it's like I'm kind of like still telling the story of myself, the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? Because that story it's like a never-ending story. That's not something that could just be told in a few songs or one project. That's something that's going to be spread out like a book over chapters through years, you know what I'm saying? So
And there's a lot of history in the Bronx, like you said, with that fire. I mean, with the picture, and the fires and the Bronx.
I mean, when I was a kid, I'm the last of 10 kids. You know what I'm saying?
No shit.
Yeah. So
Damn. Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, when I was a real little kid, my brothers and sisters used to take me around the Bronx and I used to, we used to take pictures. They used to take pictures of the trains, of graffiti on the trains and crazy. I was a little kid, you know what I'm saying? But I remember all that stuff, and it was like you see pictures of overseas of war zones and stuff, and that's how the Bronx looked at that time. Like you walk down a city block, a Bronx block, and the whole block is depleted, done. It was crazy.
Buildings
lots of
crumbling.
shit.
So this day still.
Yeah, I mean, there's
that.
definitely places, but I mean, at one point in the 80s, it was just there was blocks and blocks, especially like in the South Bronx. It was just, I mean, the Bronx was burning. I mean, it was perfect. So like, I'm very Bronx, like I'm very deep into Bronx culture. The Bronx is I'm the Bronx, and the Bronx is me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
ain't no more.
So that I just that project definitely has a Bronx theme to it. You know what I'm saying?
And a Bronx sound.
You say a line in one of your tracks that you say the motherland of rap or some shit like that, and that's where hip hop came from, the BX,
the mothership. I look at it like an alien mothership, like, you know what I'm saying, or a bunch of little alien ships done spread out from it over time. You know what I'm saying? And now look at hip hop. Hip hop is global. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere.
It's the #1 genre on the planet.
Yeah, man. I mean, the most influential culture too.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like from fashion to art to, I mean, you name it.
Everything.
Yeah. Slang.
What's your favorite spot in the Bronx? What do you like? I guess I don't know. What's your favorite spot in the Bronx? Where do you like to be when you home?
Home sweet home, baby. Soundview. That's always gonna be my favorite. Yeah, like, you know.
Well, besides the lab, give us another spot.
I mean, it's besides being, I tend to be a little bit of a homebody, but like I said, I'm in the studio pretty much all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's now that I'm like I said, I'm starting to put these projects out, so I'm starting to move more. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really into the streets. Like, music saved me. You know what I'm saying? So now I tend to put all my focus on the music now, rather than trying to keep my foot in the street and just I'm always in the studio at all times. So yes, that's my favorite place. That's my sanctuary. Like your man Superman used to go to wherever he used to fly to his little his ice castle or whatever it was. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what the studio is to me. Or
that's dope.
Would you name the studio?
Viewside Chamber, because a lot of people in my hood, they call my hood Viewside. So, you know what I'm saying, my hood, my studio's in the hood, you know what I'm saying, and I always called my booth the chamber. Like, you know what I'm saying, I've always said that when you step in the chamber, it's gonna reveal your truth, like if you ready or not. And my booth is definitely the truth bearer, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not ready, it'll tell you you're not ready. So I've always said that, like I've always had that little running joke with my booth, like it's the chamber. So being my boy, shout out to my guy Big French, he was like, yo, what's the name of your studio? You gotta have a name to your studio. So I came up with that name, Viewside Chamber.
That's what's up. Now, next on the docket, you got a project coming out with the homie One Got Beats.
Well, actually, no. My album drops this Friday. That's entirely produced by me too. Me and the homie One is working on a project which will be dropping after that.
Okay.
But my next project by any means is entirely produced by me. That's dropping this Friday.
Congrats.
On all platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that joint got 8 joints. That's featuring the homie Cortez.
Shit.
I got a feature from my guy Rem the Giant from my hood. He cooking right now too. Be on the lookout for him. So yeah, I got a couple features on there. My first features.
And you said you produced that album?
Well, yes, that album is entirely produced by me, because
produced and mixed,
mastered, everything, artwork by me.
So talk about like that project and like how it came to be.
That's just basically me staying consistent with what I started with Destroy and Rebuild. That's me staying on top of myself and saying, listen, bro, there's no breaks. You know what I'm saying? There's no breaks. There's no taking days off. There's no take a break for a little while in between projects. Nah, like that's that's basically me telling myself, by any means, bro, like you have to go hard. Like there's no stopping.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You have to get it by any means. So the artwork kind of reflects my life a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Again, done by you.
Yes. Word up. They're like, you know what I'm saying? They got the table with the bullets and because it kind of like from where I was before the music to where I am now with the music is like by any means, that was always my mentality. Get it by any means. You know what I'm saying? So now that I do the music thing, is you got to get it by any means, bro. And no one's going to wake you up in the morning to go to the studio to get it done. No one's going to write for you. No one's going to make your piece. I mean, yeah, you could work with producers. Shout out to Homie One and my guy Hellfire. You can have producers sending you beats. But at the end of the day, they can't write for you. No one's going to do it for you at the end of the day. No one's going to hold your hand. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out and do it. So that's what that album's about, basically. Just me just telling myself, bro, like, because at the end of the day, I don't got nothing to prove to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I make my music, I just make my music. I'm not thinking about, is this going to offend somebody? Right. Do I got to make this type of song? Do I have to make this or that? Is this hot? Do I have to follow that wave? Nah, I'm not.
You make what you want to make.
Exactly. Like I go in with a blank canvas. The same thing like with my beats. Like it's just blank canvas. I go in there. If I'm feeling grimy, that's how I'm gonna do it. That's how the album gonna come out. If I'm feeling on some party shit, that's how that's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's never.
And you said that you are featuring the brother Cortez on that.
Yes, sir.
Album,
me and him
right?
got a real heater on there.
Shout
out to him. But I wanted to ask you because he said that on his album, which is a dope project as well that just came out,
Resolutions, fire.
that you produced the track "Growers" for him.
Yeah, I produced. Is that correct? I produced "Growers" and "From the Bottom." Fam.
Oh, and "From the Bottom." Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yo, let me give you props on that track
he loves Growers.
Yo, I mean, let me give you props on that shit. Yo, I would have said that you would have produced any other track on the album, but not that one because it's not your sound.
Yeah, well, actually, both those songs.
Yo, because I'm telling you, I've been following you, so he's like, yo, Crisis did it. I'm like, oh, Crisis from the BX? Because you always shouting out the X, and he's like, yeah, I was like, yo, but this beat don't even sound like Crisis. Like, you know, it's on some straight up, yo, I don't even know, man. I love that fucking song, bro.
Yeah, that's me, you know, showing my, because like at the end of the day, my style, like when I'm rapping, I kind of like the grimy stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I don't make all grimy. I make everything. I make soulful shit. I make party shit. I make bounce shit.
I know this.
So with that Growers joint, that came out so dope. You know what I'm saying? And that joint is actually starting to mutate even more, especially with the video being shot. Once that drops, that's gonna be crazy. That whole project is crazy. Shout out to the homie Cortez.
Yo.
That song right there is definitely one of my favorite joints on the album. Like that, it just got that vibe.
Production.
And you know, everybody's a smoker. We all smokers, so it just gives people that vibe. It make you want to light up and burn something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh look, trust me, I seen them pose with the other shit. I seen them pose that you got with the other shit. Word up. That's a straight smoke vibe, yo. Word up.
Definitely.
Now, other than Cortez, have you done production for many other artists?
Not many artists. Shout out to the homie Pete Powers. I did something for him, produced by me, featuring the homie Tony Sunshine.
Nice.
I did a couple joints for him. I did a couple joints for my guy Nadi, who just came home. Shout out to my guy Nadi. Expect to hear some joints from him. Me and him gonna be working.
Shout out to Nadi.
Yeah, but as far as artists, I got shout out to the homie Reef Hustle too. He fuck with the Trust Mob and the homie Flea Lord. He got an album dropping soon. I got a joint with my guy Big French produced. Me and the homie Big French produced that. That's gonna be on his album. So just it's now that I'm starting to
branch out.
Yeah, like shout out to the homie Powers. He's like pretty much one of the first artists that I produced for other than myself. You know what I'm saying? And then Tez, obviously, you know.
Is there anybody you would like to collab with?
As far as like produce for them? Yeah, there's a lot of artists, man. Like I'm a fan of this first and foremost, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a huge fan of hip hop. So like there's just so many artists I would love to produce for. Like, you know, I'm trying to get some joints for the homie Flea Lord now. Cause shout out to the homie Big French. Yeah, it's just a lot of artists, man. Shout out to, you know, 38 Special.
Oh shit.
Like, you know, it's just a lot of shout out to Ito, you know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of artists from New York that I would like to shout out to the homie Nems. Just a lot of artists that I listen to from New York that I would like to, you know what I'm saying, hear them over one of my joints. Ill Bill, you know what I'm saying? All the dope artists from New York that be putting mad work in, and they, you know what I'm saying? Like I listen to them, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan first and foremost, so I listen to them, and when I make beats, I be having them in mind, you know what I'm saying? Before myself, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm an artist first and foremost, like I'm a fan first, so I think of artists like that when I'm making beats.
Dope,
you know
dope. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I'm certain you can connect with these guys and definitely get them to hear your stuff.
Sure.
And I can't wait to get on that. Yeah, for real.
It's just, you know, it's just
matter
putting
of
the
time,
work
yeah.
and consistency and showing everybody that, you know, I bring something to the table, and I'm dead serious about this.
Exactly, that
I'm
you're
hungry.
serious about, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you said By Any Means drops this Friday, the 29th?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Everybody make sure
All
you're
platforms.
on the lookout for that. By
Word
Any
up.
Means by the homie Crisis, dropping Friday, January 29th. This episode
sir.
will be up before then? Nah, I think this episode will be up a little bit after, but if you
maybe
hear
not,
this now,
yeah.
you can go to iTunes and Spotify and all
sir.
DSPs.
Go check that
and
out.
You can look for By Any Means. It should
Yep.
be
The
out.
link will
Make sure
be
you
in my
download that.
Instagram bio too.
Yeah, run that up.
Absolutely, and that's at I am Crisis, IAMCRISIS _.
Yes, sir.
We were talking briefly off air about YouTube, and you know, we're both trying to get our fucking YouTubes popping. Do
Yeah,
you
YouTube is tricky.
have
Yeah.
do you have like some videos coming in support of the album?
Yeah, now like I can't front. It was like I didn't want to make no excuses for nothing. A lot of people be like, "Oh, I don't got videos for this, so I don't want to do this." It's like I didn't have certain stuff while I was working on some of my projects, so I didn't want to stop that from me putting music out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like I just started putting the projects out even without videos. But now I'm starting to, you know, talk with a few people who do camera work, and definitely I plan on putting some videos out for Perilous and for this upcoming project coming out, because I'm still pushing Perilous too, but I'm just on some, like, my pen right now is just going crazy, and I'm going crazy on the beat machine. So it's like, you know what, just project mode, go crazy.
If you're
Go
in the
crazy,
zone, ride it out.
Go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
like I
man.
said, I'm trying to showcase not only just the bars, I'm trying to showcase the beats too. So it's like I'm trying to show people that not only am I nice with both, but the consistency and the time frame that, you know, the turnaround time from project to project, it shows that I could put fire together in the time I do and put out, you know, solid projects. You know what I'm saying? Besides, and then, you know, now I'm starting to get into producing for other artists too, which is I'm trying to do that a lot now. So
Nice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I can see that.
It's the consistency that's gonna pay off. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And
That's
you
the
gotta
thing, you
push your Crisis Bear hoodies, yo. That
I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my
Then
next,
I
that was gonna
definitely-
be my next
shit
question.
fire, yo.
Definitely.
How did that come to be? The hoodies and the merch for the Bear Massacre.
yeah, well, I've had that beer for a minute, and like I said, there's elements to this hip hop thing now. It's not just music. It's really merch driven. It's content driven.
Right.
So one of the things I was missing was the merch. A lot of people were asking me as the projects started coming out. By like the second, third project, people asking me, "Yo, you plan on putting merch out?" So it was like, all right, that's another element I gotta get into. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the homie One, he plugged me, and yeah, I linked with dude that prints my joints, and
With the homie Tommy?
With the homie Tommy.
Oh, man.
Vote printing.
That's
Shout
fire.
out to the brother Tommy.
Yeah,
Shout out to the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
print shop.
Prior
Absolutely.
guest.
Yeah, he-
Mad Limited. I
another.
got the Mad Limited shirt right now.
it's
Look.
all fab, bro.
Oh, Mad Limited,
Yo,
Mad
everything
Limited.
comes
Boom.
back full circle,
Nah, that's
baby.
what it is. Yeah, word. Shout out to the
360.
homie.
That's
He
what's
he definitely
Oh,
made my
shit.
vision official on this hoodie, and you know, like, I'm on my second drop now, so they doing good.
Nice.
For anybody
my brother.
anybody
Yeah,
who want to
congrats,
get a
for sure.
hoodie, you can hit me in my DM on Instagram if you want to cop a hoodie. Hoodies is $60. They done by pre-order. So yeah, there's 2 bears out now. There's 2 different designs. The one that's coming out now is the bear sleeping on a NPC with an axe.
that.
So
Oh,
I
shit.
seen that one.
Yeah,
I seen that one. Yeah, I seen that one.
yeah,
But where you been seeing all this shit?
yeah, it's on my
Where
gram.
you been seeing
On
all
his
this
gram.
Yeah, it's on my
You
gram.
ain't
Yo,
got
but
no
you got no
gram.
Instagram.
Ah, be creeping. The burner account. The burner account. What y'all
Got no
know about
Instagram
that?
ass nigga.
Twitter ass
Yeah.
nigga. Fake ass journalist.
Yeah, word.
Yo, but I saw it though. That was the first thing I said when he
got that
walked.
off, yeah.
when
And
he
you
walked
knew
in.
about the by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Come on, man, get it together, fellas.
yeah, so that's my merch right there. So I got plenty of designs coming out soon. So be on the lookout for that. I got my first design already touched down. That's the joint I'm wearing right now.
Yeah.
And then I got another joint coming out, like I said, with the NPC. And then I got a few more joints coming out. So stay tuned. So every time one hoodie drops, I'm starting to pre-order for the next joint.
No doubt. Shout out your page, my brother. Shout out your page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shout
I am
out.
Crisis _ on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And then on Twitter is I am Crisis also. So you know, you find me on Twitter, I am Crisis. Yes, pretty much those 2 platforms.
The two,
doubt, man,
the
no
two
doubt.
best.
The two main joints, and then
Two
you know,
biggest, yeah.
follow me on the gram, and you're gonna see some more stuff coming from Twitch, and we're gonna be doing some things. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie Big French. We're gonna be doing something too for producers. We're gonna have the homie One down with us too. So I ain't gonna say too much about that, but we're gonna have something dope really coming up soon for producers.
Yeah, be on
So,
the lookout for
yeah.
that.
That's
Right
gonna be
up.
on YouTube. You know what
And
I'm
the
saying?
next
So-
project after By Any Means is the one with Brother One Got Beat?
Yes, sir. We working on that right now. We already 4 songs
Y'all got
in.
a title?
No, there's no title for that
No
yet.
working title?
Right now,
working-
no. Right now, it's just the Crisis in One project. Right now,
Yo,
entirely
hold
produced
up.
by the
I got a
homie
question, B. This question is for One Got Beats. Yo, my brother, how the fuck do you got time to do everything, dog?
Yo,
He has a time machine.
He don't sleep.
He has a DeLorean.
He told us he don't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't sleep, bro. I don't sleep. I just got the studio with the art stuff, man. We tapping in. We doing. I mean, I told y'all last time I didn't want to say too much, but you know, we growing, man.
That's bullshit. That's
Yo,
bullshit.
you get busy, yo.
Yo,
get busy,
that's bullshit, bro. He's got a twin.
Yo, low
He's like,
There's a Two Got Beats?
there's a 2 got beats,
gotta
yo.
close up
Yo, this guy's like Screwface in the Steven Seagal movie. There's 2 of him, yo. That's the secret to his magic.
Yo,
but
funny 'cause
nah,
my
that
brother
project,
just like
though,
me, so they think we friends, but nah, it's
That
just
project actually has the homie Cortez on it too.
we got caught.
Yeah?
The joint we and him did.
Oh,
Listen,
nice.
when me and the homie, shout out to the homie Cortez once again.
Yeah, big
when
shots,
me and
big
him
shots.
linked up, we did 3 joints actually. So you heard 2 joints on his album. He got another one coming up on his follow up to that I also produced, and expect more from me and him anyway. But yeah, once we did those 3 joints, the homie hit me like, yo, we was just talking, and it was like, yo, we gotta do something together. So me and the homie One had started our project. So I sent him something that I had started. I was about to do a second verse to it, and I was like, you know what, this got a perfect vibe for the homie. So I sent him that. He laced that, sent it back to me. So he's on that project too. So he'll be on my next 2 projects. So
I'm feeling that
Y'all getting
BK-BX connection, dog.
yeah,
Word
nah,
up.
definitely. Like a lot of people be like the BX and BK are like oil and vinegar. But
Breaking
nah,
down
we,
that
That was
Yeah,
a
nah.
long time thing though.
yeah,
Nah,
nah,
it still
it was
is,
it was like, you know, when I was younger on my street shit, you know what I'm saying, when I used to be riding the Iron Horse, I used to be on the train. Most of my issues came from dudes from the BK because we the same. That's why it's like,
Yeah,
yo,
that
we
is.
it's like two lions bumping heads in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to
That
BK.
train ride to Coney Island, my nigga. That
Yeah,
shit
now
was
shout
rough.
out to but I got mad love for BK too. You know what I'm saying? I got mad homies from the BK. So shout out to all the boroughs, but shout out to BK. Word up.
Shout out to BK for real.
Word.
And
Shout
the
out to
brother
the X.
Cortez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah,
and the brother
definitely. Like I
Cortez,
said,
for
and make
sure.
sure y'all get that Resolutions album on all platforms.
Yeah, go get that.
That album is fire from start to end. And I'm not saying that because I produced two heaters on there, but the album
Nah,
is
plug your
fire.
shit,
You
plug
know what
your
I'm
shit,
saying?
baby.
Nah,
No,
because
yeah, the album right
to be
now,
honest,
the first album
like
was crazy.
like two of my favorite joints is actually not even the joints I produced. Like, I mean, I love those joints too. Those I love the whole album, but like
Yeah.
two of my favorite joints on the album. Shout out to the homie Dozer. I think he produced both of them joints.
Those
so,
is dope too.
yeah,
I fuck with those too.
Shit, yeah, he's a dope producer
I
too,
fucks
yo.
with him.
Yeah, so
Yo,
He nice.
shout out to that track Bricks on that album on Resolutions. I didn't really talk about it on that show with Cortez, but I really like that song, and it happens to have his homie that passed away, that dude Meg.
yeah, shout
And
out
I
to Mac.
really like
Rest in
that
peace.
track, yo. I
Yeah,
really
nah,
that
like
shit.
I said, the whole album had a vibe to it. Like when I went to the studio and they was putting the joints together, like I kind of it almost ended up almost me and Dozer producing the whole joint, cause like the homie picked like 6 beats that I play. I had the studio going crazy for the joints I was playing, so he picked like 6 beats, and we boiled it down to the 3 joints that he picked, cause I was like, you know what, 6 is a lot, like, you know what I'm saying. You know, we there's many projects we gonna work on, so let's boil it down to the 3 hottest joints, and that's how those songs. Growers came out right there on the spot, like
Hook everything.
as soon as the beat got played and he was like that one right there, like
No question. I want that one. That one.
like those.
That's like magic, yo. That's
Yeah, Dozer
magic,
started
yo.
coming up with the hook. Him and Dozer, they started playing around. They came up with the hook. They recorded it right there on the spot, and the homie and the song was history basically.
Shout out
so,
to the brother Dozer.
Yeah, word. So like
And you are on part 2.
on the follow up to the album. Yes, he already got a joint that we produced that's stupid too.
Oh, I can't wait, my nigga.
Like I said, we got joint. Like that's just like I said. We 5 for 5 already. I produced 3 heaters for him, and we did 2 joints. And you know, not to put the homie out there, but he don't care. He said it straight up. He's like, yo, the joint me and him did together that's on the album I got coming out Friday. He said that's probably one of his best collabos he ever did. And as far as from the bottom, he told me straight up, like, yo, that's one of his best records he ever did. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, I'm proud of that too, because, you know what I'm
So
saying?
there's a chance there may be like a Cortez produced by
Oh yeah, I already.
Crisis project.
Yeah, I kind of like
Like
floated
Bludshot?
that already. Like it could be a Crisis entirely produced by me
what I mean,
project.
yeah.
It could be Cortez and
Collab.
Crisis collabo
Yeah,
EP
call it the
or album.
Call it the Cortez Crisis.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
like that
Whatever.
idea.
Yeah,
I like
word.
that idea.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like I said, that was just like the scratching the surface, the joints we did so far. But be on the lookout for the 2 joints me and the homie got, and then he got another joint
up.
in the stash that he'll be dropping once he, you know what I'm saying? Cause he working that album. Cause I mean, the album is fire. You can't just one month it and then move on to something else.
Yeah,
that album is too
That's
fire.
an issue that we have with a lot of music now,
Yeah.
that it's so
Yeah.
microwave. Like
Yeah.
an album comes out and a week later, the artist himself is not talking about the album.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's
They're already talking
that's
about
moving on
just
to the
because I mean, it's so easy to put music out now that it's so much artists. I mean, the game is oversaturated. Think about it. So it's like you can't have that in your head, like, you know what I'm saying? Because that'll probably discourage your artist or producer. So it's like it don't matter. If there's a million dudes in the room. I'm the type of dude that I'm gonna elbow my way through the room anyway. So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
As
It's
you
like,
should.
yeah,
Exactly.
So, you know.
As you should.
Yo, shout out to the brother Game Over who was speaking on that. He came on the show a couple of episodes ago, and he said that he'll push a single for 2 years, 3 years if he has to.
Yeah,
Just
like
keep pushing
you
it.
know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Work it,
Music,
yeah.
if your music is fire, I feel like, and the people gravitate to it, it's timeless. Like you know what I'm saying? If it's just like fatty and it's just hot for the moment, like a couple months later, 2 months, they
People
probably not
forget,
gonna
yeah,
listen to it. But I feel like I make music that when it come on in your playlist, you're not skipping it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
gonna
it doesn't
stick.
feel old, and you know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like what's out there too.
Exactly. That's the problem. A lot of people use the sound of the moment. So once that moment's passed, the sound's passed.
Yeah,
so
like
now your
people-
song just
Yeah.
sounds
People like being surfers and riding other people's waves is like, I mean, I'm not into that. Like, you know, I'm influenced. Don't get me wrong. I'm like I said, I'm a fan of this. I get influenced by new artists, old artists. You know, I'm not one of those.
Inspired.
Yeah, like you know, I'm one of those artists that don't just listen to himself. Like you know, I hear a lot of artists say that. So you know, I'm a fan. I'm a fan first, so I get inspired a lot by a lot of stuff that's out there. Word up. But I try to keep it crisis. Like you know, when you hear my stuff, it's like, it got this vibe. Like you mentioned before,
But it is crisis.
Havoc. You know what I'm saying? Like the homie Timberland done, you know, put me in a category with Just Blaze and Swiss, like, you know, which is a super compliment because those are like some of my favorite.
Right. Yeah,
those
man.
are like
You
some
was
of my
getting love
favorite
from Timbo
producers.
on your page, right?
Yeah, so you know, for him to
dope. That's
put my
dope.
name with those producers, it's like, yeah, that's what's up. Because I mean, I'm a fan of those dudes. So I mean, I've always taken. That's what hip hop is. Hip hop is just you get influenced by something, and then you put your own sprinkle flavor to it, your own spin to it. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, before we get into 10 shots with VSOP, you were naming, or you said Swizz and Just are some of your favorite producers.
yes, sir.
Right.
Do you think you
Especially
could name,
Swiss, he for the BX. So you know,
Oh, facts.
do you think he influenced your sound more than anyone else, or
Nah.
do you
I had to give that to the DJ Muggs,
okay,
the Premiers, the RZA,
Word on. Yeah.
the
That's
The
who
Lord
you remind me
Finesse.
of as well.
Lord
That's who
Finesse,
you remind me of, the
DITC,
RZA.
you know what I'm saying? Diamond D, like those producers, Buck Wow, like, you know what I'm saying?
You're also naming some great producers that were also great MCs.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Word,
which is
word.
why I'm naming some of those dudes
Right,
too,
right,
because they influenced me so heavy when
At
I was
both,
growing up.
yeah.
So it was like once I got into the genre and started creating, those were the dudes I look for inspiration, because I listen to music all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not in the studio, like if I'm in my car, the music is playing all day. When I'm in the bathroom, the music is playing. Like I'm that type of person. So I've always looked to those dudes for influence. You know what I'm saying? Like I always pay homage to dudes. You know what I'm saying? So the RZAs, the Muggs, the Finesses, the Diamond D's, the Premiers, the Dr. Dre's, like you know, the Daz Dillingers, like you know what I'm saying, like a lot of ill producers.
DJ
you know what I'm
Quick.
saying? Quick, Alchemist, like I say, one of my favorite producers. Madlib, like a god to me when it comes to production. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes, when I listen to their production, they take me into a zone. So when I produce, I'm not trying to emulate them, but I'm channeling the inspiration
Their
I get
vibe,
from them.
yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
word up.
Well, trust me, I'm guilty of channeling Premiere a lot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I've gotten that a lot. A lot of people have said, yo, I've given them like the Havoc vibe, the Alchemist vibe.
Right.
Shout out to Timberland. He said, I
Even
gave
Muggs,
him
like
the
you said,
Swizz.
Muggs.
Yeah, Muggs is probably one of my biggest influences as far as production. Like I hold him up there as far
He's
as one
dope.
of the,
He's
yeah,
fire. He's
like,
fire.
you know what I'm
He is
saying?
fire.
So I hold the
I was
homie
saying,
up there.
I was saying the RZA when you mentioned them, because that sparked a light bulb. Because I was thinking the same thing, and he gets real underground with it.
Yeah,
But
Fourth
he doesn't get the
Disciple.
respect that he should as a lyricist.
Yeah,
So when he dropped that Bobby Digital shit.
Oh yeah, that's the classic.
you
That's
know,
And that's
man,
what I asked Burnz before
the
you actually,
album is crazy.
before you actually got here. We were talking about, me and Burnz was talking about that, and I was like, who's at least not maybe the best, but in your opinion, your favorite producer on the mic? And he said, without hesitation, he said RZA. He said RZA, no question.
My
I had some
favorite
pretty
producer
good.
on the mic.
Yeah. Like that can spit though. Like, and that's
That's
at
tough.
least your favorite. Yeah, just give us your
That's
favorite.
tough.
of them.
That's tough for me because I mean, shout out to the RZA. He was nice.
Yeah.
Havoc was. I mean, he's
Havoc.
dead nice. Like I said, Diamond was nice.
Diamond was a
I mean,
beast.
he is nice. I should have said was.
right,
he
right.
is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Finesse.
Q-Tip.
Yeah. I mean,
Large
Tip,
Professor.
Large Pro, but he's not
Yeah.
really a rapper. But you know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
but
like,
he can spit though.
yeah,
He can
but
spit.
yeah,
He
but
can
as
spit.
far as like artists that put albums out
Rock
that
Marcy.
produce, I mean, Rock. Like if
Yeah.
you want to name like, I wouldn't say new because Rock ain't new. Monster,
Right.
shout out to
But he's
Monster.
from the
He's one of
newer
my favorite
generation,
art.
though,
He's
yeah.
one of my favorite artists. Like you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
favorite producers too. He's ill with the production. Shout out to 38 Special.
Right.
He's ill with the production.
Big Crit. Big Crit.
Big Crit. You know what I'm
I know you
saying?
fuck with Crit.
Yeah. Word. Shout out to
Crit
Big
is
Crit
dope.
too. You know what I'm saying? Because like, there's definitely a lot of artists, producers out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Crit was one of the
Come on, man.
producers that their story was because he was in. Well, I think he's from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Because he was there pre-internet and pre-Instagram and shit. He ain't
Nah,
have
but-
nobody to make beats.
Right. So he decided to make him.
yeah, nah. But shout, I know Cole produced a lot of his stuff. J.
Cole's
Cole
one of the
I was
produced a
gonna
lot
say
of
J.
his
Cole.
stuff.
We were talking
Like,
about J. Cole earlier.
yeah, there's a lot of art. Royce the 5'9" just
Royce is
recently
nice
started
too,
producing,
exactly. Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's actually
alright, right?
yeah, word up.
That last album, the allegory was real dope.
But you know, he's been in the game for a while. He's been around a lot of dope producers. You know what I'm saying? So
He's made 2 albums with Premier.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So you know he.
P-Rock.
He had to
P-Rock
have
was
soap
my
that
nigga
shit.
too.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Pete Rock. I mean, those
Rock.
Pete Rock, but you know, those are just produce. Those dudes are like gods to me when it comes to producing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. But as far as like the rapper producers, shout out to them, man, because it ain't easy to be a producer and an artist. Because, like I said, to produce for yourself is not just. I mean, making beats is one thing. Producing is a whole nother thing. Cause you know you make the beat, you come up with the concept, the hook, write the verses, and you know what I'm saying. So it's not easy. So shout out to them, man, cause you got to be a real. You got to be a real creative person to be able to come up with concepts for your beat. It's one thing to come up with a concept and a hook as a producer to a beat you make, but to come up with a whole song versus everything, like, you know, so shout out to the Kanyes and the Lord Finesses and the Diamond D's, like, you know,
You know
shout
who
out to
gets-
all those
you know
guys.
who
To
get-
you.
Yeah, shouts to you,
Absolutely.
obviously.
Shout out to
And
you, my
Appreciate it,
brother.
appreciate
you know who
it.
gets slept on a lot too on production? Rakim. A lot of the early records was him.
Yeah, word.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy
Like
too.
Follow
Word.
the Leader. Yeah, he was the one producing that shit. That's just nuts. And just this guy was just doing the DJ shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
All right,
Yeah,
so-
'cause-
Rock him.
so go ahead, my brother.
Damn. I only had. Oh, my last question. Other than hip hop, have you ever tried to produce any other genre, or do you have any interest in attempting to do any other genre?
Would you work with another genre, like another artist, or the artist from another
Yeah,
genre?
I would. I mean, I'm just open to music. Like, you know what I'm saying. I'm one to, like, when it comes to making music, I'm one for a challenge. You know what I'm saying. If somebody say, yo, you think you can make this, and it's like, yeah, I'll try to make it. You know what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, like, when it comes to producing, I'm more like, just, it doesn't matter the genre. Obviously, I'm hip hop based. You know what I'm saying. But if somebody was to come to me and be like, yo, let's try this, let's try some pop music, or let's try some,
I feel like rock.
or even
Like
rock.
you should
Yeah,
try some rock.
yeah, I would. Like I said,
I
shout
can see
out
that.
to Pharoah Munch too. He got like a album he just dropped too, 13.
Some
That's
rock.
like,
Oh
it's
shit!
like,
yeah, yeah,
it's
with
like
the,
rock.
with the band and shit.
It's like
I mean,
rock
it's-
meets
it's
my
got-
beat
yeah,
I was reading.
it got- yeah,
it's
it's
like
like-
rock influences.
Yeah, it got rock influence, but it's, it definitely got that hip hop vibe.
Yeah.
And he's one of them Jedi masters on the mic. That,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
So
So
yeah, he's alien.
And he working with somebody too, a DJ, I think, if I'm not mistaken,
And that's
or a drummer, some shit like that.
yeah, but I
That's
mean,
how
I
it
heard
is.
that album. That shit is crazy. So shout out to him. Like I said, I'm inspired. I get influenced by artists that I looked up to when I was growing up. That's still going hard. New artists, So
Absolutely.
That's
Now
what's up.
let's get into 10 shots with VSOP. So the
Alright.
brother right here is gonna ask you 10 questions. You just answer them off the mind. Don't think about them too much, and
These
then we'll catch up in the end.
Yeah, these are just 10 questions, based off of previous episodes and basically what we talked about here today. So here we go, 10 shots. Number 10, Big L or Big Pun?
Big Pun.
All right, number 9, Primo or the RZA?
I'm gonna have to go with RZA. Sorry, Primo.
No doubt. Number 8, Juice, Menace, or Boys in the Hood?
Juice, Menace, or Boys in the Hood? You know what? I'm gonna have to say Boys in the Hood.
All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm saying, man.
Number 7,
Ricky.
Bad Boy or The Rock?
Bad Boy or The Rock?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Bad Boy, RP Big.
No doubt. Number 6.
Oh shit.
Number 6, Iron Man or Supreme Clientele?
Supreme Clientele.
Nice. Number 5, G Unit, D Block or Dipset?
I'm gonna have to say G Unit.
G Unit.
Yeah, cause I mean I listen to all of them, but yeah, I listen.
All right,
to
we'll go back to it. Number 4, Pete Rock or Jay Dilla?
You know what? I'm gonna have to say Pete Rock.
Number 3, 80s, 90s, or 2000. Which one was the best era?
90s.
Number 2, I Am or It Was Written, Nas albums.
It was written.
And
albums.
last one, the
Word up.
one that began the whole shit. Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas?
Big.
Facts.
10 shots.
Damn, why was I Am so like dismissed?
Come on, it was written, my
I
brother.
Am is the man.
I put it.
Am,
I didn't want to put it to Illmatic because I
It
know the
was
answer
written.
to that.
It was written was a different type of album, man.
I Am gets
He's a
slept
producer,
on.
yo.
Nah, but I put it like to see. I wanted to get an honest opinion from somebody else.
That
And
album
he-
has
yeah.
the greatest song, in my opinion, ever written, which was "I Gave You Power."
Oh, we talk about I Gave You Power all the time.
Yeah, that's like probably the greatest concept song ever written, in my opinion. So yeah,
I
that's,
agree. I agree.
That's like modern Shakespeare.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I
right.
mean-
I think, I think Rewind gives it a run for its money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah,
it gives it a
Rewind
run
is
for
probably
its
one
money.
of my favorite
But Rewind wasn't
concepts, but
Rewind wasn't on none of those albums though.
yeah, nah, that
I'm
was
talking
on.
about concept.
Yeah,
track.
yeah.
Oh, no.
No, Rewind is definitely up there as far as top
Yeah,
5
yeah.
concepts ever because he went,
Yeah.
he bugged out when he wrote that.
I
one.
never heard nothing like that.
Yeah,
bro.
Nah,
like,
that shit
you
was
gotta
ill.
be,
Never.
your mind gotta be different from
Nah, that-
everybody.
that
like
was
he's an
dope.
alien for writing that.
Nah,
man.
yeah, that's
yeah,
definitely it.
yeah, he,
Nas the god.
So
Yeah.
you said Supreme over Iron Man.
yeah, and Iron Man is such a classic, but yeah, Supreme Clientele is so crazy that I have to like that album's top 5 albums ever created to me. Like
See?
Supreme Clientele is
Nice.
definitely that album is
It's more New York sounding.
it's
You know what I'm
perfect.
saying?
It's perfect,
Yeah.
man. Like it's literally from start to end. That album, when the album gives me different type of vibe, like a vibe. I don't even want to say it because I don't like to be. I don't want to be in a negative vibe. But that vibe, that album, you in trouble in that. If that album came on in my hood, you in trouble. Like I
There's
was just
certain-
saying
yeah,
that.
there's certain albums
right.
that'll put you
Yeah,
in.
it's just.
A certain mind state. Yeah.
He went so crazy on every song,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
production
yeah.
on that album.
Well, he
from
had different
start to begin.
producers
Yeah,
besides the RZA.
yeah. That was like,
puts you like in a cold fucking New York.
yeah, the production on
Don't
that
really,
album
man.
is
It's
just
crazy.
so
It's crazy.
crazy, man. Yeah. Shout out to producers on that album too. Man. Like,
Word up.
You apologized to Primo and you said
Yeah,
RZA
man.
over Primo.
yeah, because, and I'm gonna say this, man, because I love Primo and Gangstar so much, man. Primo's one of my favorite producers too. But RZA and the Wu did something to me when I was growing up.
I think they did it to everybody.
And I was such a Wu fan that RZA's,
now, though,
yeah, I mean,
what
to
I
this
mean?
day, like the Wu is so, they probably the most influential. If I really had to sit down and pick who is the most influential overall, it'd definitely be the Wu, because the Wu-Tang, man, like those albums was just special. Like,
Changed
you know
the
what I'm
game.
saying? Yeah,
Changed
nah,
that game.
game changers, they definitely game changers. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure.
Like Snoop's album was a game changer.
Yeah.
The Chronic, those albums, like his Doggy Style album was a game changer. The Wu's first album was a game changer. Like it took New York somewhere else. Like the whole grime, every time you hear somebody rap it to a like a grimy type beat, and that's influenced by the Wu. Like they was just different. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
That was
the
just
Wu.
part of their sound.
I
and
agree.
So I
their
definitely-
93.
mythos.
Yeah, so I picked
93 till
RZA.
infinity, yo.
Yeah, so
Word
I
up.
picked RZA over Primo just because of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily I would say he better or nothing. Just
Right,
his
right.
influence and their music was just something different.
feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was something different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Shout out to them and shout out to the brother Crisis. Once again, thank you for coming
Yeah,
through.
yeah,
It's
word.
been our pleasure to have you.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Everybody make
Thank
sure
you,
go
thank you.
follow the brother at I am Crisis. That's
Yeah.
at IAMCRISIS_. Make sure you go download Perilous.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for By Any Means dropping this Friday, January
right.
29th. Make sure you download that. Make sure you're on the lookout for the collab album coming with One Guy Beats.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you're on the lookout for the new hoodies dropping.
Yep.
I need one.
Yeah, got you,
Look
got
for
you.
the new track on the Resolutions Part 2 by Cortez coming soon.
Yes, sir.
And congratulations, my brother. And we wish
Appreciate
you
it,
nothing but
appreciate it.
success.
Just make sure y'all go and just backtrack and listen to everything,
Oh, yeah,
man,
yeah,
because
we do,
everything
we
is
do.
still new, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
everybody
Absolutely,
tuning in, tap in.
Word up.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Before we sign off, let's get into the love song of the week. Brother Crisis, just so that you know, this is just a random R&B song that I came across during the week, and I was fucking with it, and we're going to share it with the world because we got some female listeners. And this one is actually dedicated to my wifey, who was victorious this week in her verses, Ashanti.
Hey.
Okay.
I love you. You already know. I'm wrapping up the show. I'm coming home to
Shout
you,
out,
girl.
Queens.
Shout out to R&B, man. That needs to come back too, man.
Yo, she was on time. Yo, she was on time.
She always on
She
time,
was like
baby.
an hour and a half late, yo.
This is the track. I believe it's called Scared. This is off the first album. Ashanti victorious in the verses. Shout out to the brother Crisis for coming through. Make sure you're on the lookout for all the future projects. Shout out to the brother Fidel coming through, snapping it up. Shout out to the
Chill.
brother One Guy Beats.
Yep.
This the
Brother One.
Godcast cousin right here.
Right
you know
here,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Definitely.
Shout out to the brother
Cuz
F. Shout out Straight Fuego Studio. To the Breath Ladies, the Breath Ladies, Breath Wives, and Breath Dads.
That's right.
Shout out
Hello,
to
Mio.
sponsors. Make sure you're following on all the socials. Shout out to the brother VS.
Yo, we here, man. Shout out to all of y'all, everybody watching, everybody listening. Shout out to the brother Crisis for coming through, blessing us, dropping some gems, letting us know what's going on. Shout out to you, my brother, Blood.
Likewise, my brother. You know how we do, man.
Up in the
Shout out
BX.
to y'all.
You finally got the right hat on.
Yeah, you know. Bronx Bombers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Better get it together.
Crisis, it was an honor. Like I said, y'all, I've been following you.
Thank you.
Playing your beats, try to stay sharp,
You got some bars?
Nah. It ain't even like
He
that.
looked
I'm
like he
tired,
had-
but,
he looked like he had a few chocolate bars.
I listen to the page. I listen to OB on his page. But go check out Puerto Rican James Bond, the PR James Bond.
Sir.
That fucking beat is bananas on the Hungry album for Crisis. And go check out The Devil's Dice Game. That's the illest way to end a fucking album on the King Reborn. Go check that out for my nigga Crisis.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, brother, for
Word
checking
up.
in. International Blood, always a pleasure.
Love you, brother.
To all the listeners
No,
and
we
everybody
do.
checking in on the YouTube, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and the notifications, and there's something else, but I don't know. Share, I think, or drop a comment. Whatever the kids be saying, do all that shit.
Smash the like
Smash
button,
that like
comment,
button.
and subscribe. There you go.
Chin up, chest
All that
out, carry
shit.
yourself with honor, carry yourself with pride. Somebody hit my music.